Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Subpar Commander, where we're going to be looking at a cast and, looking at a FA Forever game, Forge Alliance Forever game. And yeah, I know what you're saying. You're looking at the top right over here, you're like, it's not a Subpar Commander, there's a 1300 and 1100. Well, it's my show, and I don't care, because both of these players are kind of insignificant to the turnout of this game and how it goes. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get into introducing our players with Team 1 up here at the top right and Team 2 at the bottom left. We're going to be starting with Willow's Duality at the beach position, going Aeon, first land, and they are Cyan. And then up here, we have a blue Submarine by the name of Esprador. And they're going Submarine, of course. They're blue. They've gone first land. And yeah, that's about all we need to know. Then down here at the rock position, we have a blue Submarine by the name of Popbox, going first air. And then last but not least for Team 1, we have a red UEF by the name of Judah X, going first land. And then over to the south side, we're going to start with the air player this time. In Battle Moose Pink, we have a UEF player by the name of Bob the Ultra Noob, going first land. And then up to the north, we got a orange Seraphim going first land by the name of Sam Gold. Then to the east, we have the front player, the white Seraphim by the name of Blue Lynx. Very confusing, and it's a first land opener for Blue Lynx as well. Then we have a gray Seraphim by the name of Immortus, going first land and second air. And they'll be the beach position. And with all of the teams sorted out, we can look at the game quality, 92%, pretty well balanced. And of course, yes, I am in this game. Early on, let's just see what these players are doing. Willow's Duality deciding to take a walk through the water, possibly going to the middle. And then we, of course, have the reclaim here. Yet again, it's always going to be 13,000. Set in the clutch, everybody knows it. Total of 14,000 reclaim, and 13,000 of it is right here in the middle. And you want to grab it all as fast as you can, because that's what it's all about. It's all about that reclaim, friends. Let's go ahead and just check on some things. Let's go ahead and see. Announcements, things I need to speak about. I'm hosting a tourney, which is very important. It's the Dark Heart tourney. You can find a link to it in News Hub and such. Go sign up if you want to have some fun. Other than the Dark Heart tourney, there's going to be a new Let's Play on the channel. We are going to be Let's Playing Battletech relatively soon. I have a few Let's Plays that are going to be going up. I know most of you all do not watch the Let's Play content, but it's easily my most favorite stuff to make, and I've had way more fun making that than any FAFcast or, well, the playthrough of the FA campaign was pretty fun. But over here in the middle, we can see that Blue Lynx is making their way forward. But yeah, there's going to be more Let's Plays, and if you haven't checked them out and you really like my personality and my energy, maybe you should check them out. 1 second, I need to move my microphone. I just realized it's in the wrong spot. There we go, microphone in the right spot. Gonna have to do extra audio editing because I moved the microphone, so all the sounds are gonna be different. But you know, that's how it go. I'm gonna clap because I like to. Meanwhile, we have some minor scouting going on. The first few minutes of Setons, generally nothing happens. That's why I'm just kind of rambling, having myself a good time. Judah over here deciding to go for the Salem's first, which is a general good idea if you don't want to do the entire queuing up like 1,000 reclaim things. It's a lot of reclaim, 3,000 reclaim in these alone, and you can grab them up pretty quickly. So there are, of course, multiple strategies, but that is a very common one. You also see a lot of people going for the Loyalists and Titan Rex very early. They are the second highest value Rex, sitting at 389 each. And generally a also good idea. You can pick up a lot of them a lot faster, but they are more spread out, so you have to kind of deal with it that way. Willow's Duality showing up here in the middle, trying to kind of ward off the comm of Blue Lynx. Meanwhile, in the chat, do we have any Do we have any salt? No, not quite yet. No salt yet. We will see if there will be salt in this game. By the way, this game is a long one, so if you don't have a lot of time, and you've probably already looked at the bottom down here where it tells you, oh right, this is going to be over an hour, because it's going to be over an hour. Just fun fact. Willow's Duality going to be grabbing up a Salem wreck, and as we zoom out, we can see as far as the island drops, it does look like Pupbox has managed to grab the island without any issue. Over here on the western flank, we don't have very much going on. We do have a lot of interceptors, and the transport has just finished for Sam Gold. Sam Gold going to be sending that transport out momentarily. And it doesn't look like Willow's Duality has any... Wow, I queued up a lot of factories, apparently, everybody. We'll have to see if I actually finish all of those. This game was played like a week ago, so I barely remember anything that happened. But... yeah, I queued up a lot of naval factories, which is an interesting strategy. Gun speed and range on the way for a Mortis. And the comm of Blue Lynx having to fall back after taking about half of their health and damage. And I have to just kind of go back, lick their wounds, and then possibly come back forward to cause more damage. Willow's Duality and Judah hoovering up a bunch of reclaim. Overall reclaim, Team 1 is in the lead, as is to be expected with the early play out of Willow's Duality. Overall reclaim, we can see Willow's Duality is sitting at 1.9k and Judah X is at 5.2k, 1.9k for Esprador and Pupbox on 1.6k, 1.4k for Bob the Ultra Noob, 2,000 for Immortus, Sam Gold sitting at 1.4 thousand, and 3.5 thousand for Blue Lynx. That was a lot of words right back to back with each other. Overall reclaim, though, it's about 12,000 to 8.7 thousand between the teams. Team 1, of course, in the lead. Did I really build that many factories? It's a lot of factories. Okay. Meanwhile, as we check on the economies after the first about 7 minutes, we can see that's hard to tell. Power stall, can't tell. Judah X sitting at around 39 mass a second. Pupbox sitting at 45. Willow's Duality at 37. Bob the Ultra Noob at 51. Immortus at 33. Blue Lynx at 33. And 49 for Sam Gold. Sam Gold was able to secure the island quite easily with a drop, as it was uncontested by Willow's Duality. Meanwhile, the gun upgrade is done for Immortus. He is packing a GAT with that gun upgrade and making his way to the middle. And we have another GAT packer over here with a gun upgrade going on to Blue Lynx. Over here, there's really not much happening. We do have a lot of naval spam out already from Immortus, which could play a role. If you get a bunch of frigates up here on near the causeway, you can kind of stop land spam from making its way down, and just... frigates are really good at killing T1 land units. They're just really, really good at it. Willow's Duality sending their common back to the main base, which may be a bad idea as the comm of Immortus draws closer. May mean Judah X could be in some dire straits, having massive issue with the capabilities of survival. The probability of survival goes down when there's double comm with double gun, or no, 2 gun upgrades, 2 comms bearing down on your 1 comm with no upgrades. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. I just got done casting another game, so if my voice sounds weird, that's why. And as we look at the air players, we can see T3 on the way for Bob the Ultra Noob. And over here we have T3 on the way, and just now finishing for Esprador. A pause as something was going on, something or another. I am curious to see exactly if Esprador knows about the tech advantage. It doesn't look like it. Esprador has no scouting. Team 1, in fact, has no scouting of most of the enemy bases. If there is a possible scout of that, then we could see a very early strat bomber showing up to cause issues, possibly snipe off a bunch of mass points, or, I don't know, kill off the power of the enemy air player is a pretty good strategy to do with a strat bomber. Bunch. Okay, I didn't build all the factories. Ending with 6 naval factories at T1 and 1 T2 naval factory. Let's go ahead and check on the naval factories. I don't normally do this, but still. 3 naval factories out for Immortus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 factories out for Pupbox, and 3 factories out for Sam Gold. Meanwhile, the second comm has shown up, and both of these comms with the gun upgrade, with the GAT in their hands, are going to be pushing down on the position of Judah X. For some reason, my frame rate is kind of tanking right now. 1 second. 1 second, everybody. There's going to be a cut right here. Future Willow's going to edit something. Alright, everybody. So I did have another program open, and that was causing the frame rate drops, I believe. If not, I will change some settings around, but as of now, it does look like it's perfectly fine. Let's just go ahead and look at this advance in all of its glory. It does seem like these comms are going to get a little bit of a leeway. We do have a little bit of a standoff between the frigates. We have frigates on this side from Willow's Duality, frigates on this side out from Immortus. They are going to be killing off a whole bunch of T1 land units, causing some massive damage to these land units. Going to be getting a nice little chunk of damage done, but the second you get past these little crests, it's a lot harder for the frigates to do any kind of significant damage. Let's go ahead and zoom back out and check on the air players. We do have a strat bomber on the way for Esprador, and we do have T3 has just finished. No T3 power out yet from Bob the Ultra Noob. So we don't have an ASF out just yet, so that bomber might have some free reign. It does look like the comms are... What are you talking with this? It does look like these comms are going to keep pushing up. Judah X has managed to keep his comm out of the way of danger pretty well. The comms of Mortis and Blue Lynx are constantly pushing forward, and overcharge going into the comm of Judah X. And we have a strat bomber dropping bombs onto the comm of Immortus, going to cause some large damage with that. And we don't have any kind of ASF even on the way. We do have 1 ASF completed now, but Bob the Ultra Noob needs to go ahead and send that over to try and save his teammates. Over here we have Blue Lynx, who is taking a lot of damage with that strat bomb. A 6,000 HP. That's 3 passes, I believe, for this strat bomber to get a kill. Is he going to be able to get to the water in time? We do not know. Another bomb falling onto the comm of Blue Lynx. Going to be a troublesome situation. The strat bomber coming around for another pass. This is the next bomb about to fall. A destroyer shot hitting Blue Lynx, bringing it into damage range for a strat bomber, and that's the death of our first player. Blue Lynx has been ejected at the 12.5 minute mark. We do have this Exodus class to kind of thank for that. That Exodus shot did cause the comm to be in just enough damage range for the strat bomber to get the kill. Where is the strat bomber currently? Where did it run off to? I don't see it. Did it get shot down right after that? We don't get to see the hero strat. Sadness. Sadness. Meanwhile, that leaves a bit of an issue for both teams, in fact, as the base of Blue Lynx has been transferred over to Immortus, and Immortus is going to be a tough cookie to crack. Now that there is double eco and Immortus is the highest rated player in the game, it's going to be hard to deal with him. But meanwhile, he has to do all of this micro and manage 2 fronts on his own, whereas Team 1 has of course, all of their players still alive. It's now a 3v4. Woo! I'm a ghost! Wait, is this the Strat Bomber? No. Did the Strat Bomber really die? Ah, that's so annoying. Is this a Strat Bomber wreck? No, that looks like a shipwreck. Strat Bomber wrecks are worth like what? 1,000 almost? Give or take? That's a... Really? It was coming this way, so... Yeah, I guess it died somewhere. I don't know where, but it did die. We do see Navy amassing for all sides here. Every naval player is playing the Navy game, and everybody's kind of spamming out Team 1 ships as you do. The comm of Judah X looking like it might be in a bit of a bad spot. Willow's Duality's comm was pulled back forward, probably for the gun comms that were coming out, and is going to be pushing towards this spam that's coming in for the comm of Judah X. Judah X has his own spam and T2 already, so that's going to be a bunch of dead Thoms and Zooies. A whole bunch of dead Thoms and Zooies. That's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and see. We do have T2 Navy out from, I believe, all players. We have T2 Navy... Do you have T2 Navy? Yes, we have T2 Navy out of all players. We have T3 Air for both teams. Let's go ahead and just check on those ASF numbers really quick. We're going to be seeing 7 ASF out from Esprador, compared to 7 from Bob the Ultra Noob. So relatively even in air. Now, of course, earlier with the strat bombs, it did seem like Bob the Ultra Noob was a bit behind the curve. Meanwhile, as we look, you know what, I want to look at frigate numbers for everybody. We have 12 frigates for Sam Gold, Immortus sitting at 8, Willow's Duality sitting at 18, and Pupbox sitting at 15. More frigates for Team 1, might I point out. But it does look like Team 2 has managed to scrape together more T2 naval ships. Meanwhile, here in the middle, we do see the units that were used to defend earlier, those pillars and strikers, are going to be pushing forward now and possibly going to get a little bit of inroads with the entire fact that this entire area is pretty well undefended. It's just Zooey spam and some naval spam to try and keep these units at bay. Could see a little bit of a just A move and have your units run forward kind of situation. Meanwhile, the Navy out from Sam Gold is moving towards the causeway, trying to get some headway, possibly. We have no idea if that's going to be able to actually gain any kind of advantage. Willow's Duality's Navy is also in the area. And with that, let's go ahead and check on reclaim numbers. We can see Esprador sitting at 10,000 for Team 1, 6.9 thousand for Pupbox, 8.3 thousand for Willow's Duality, Judah X at 7,000, 6.2 thousand for Bob the Ultra Noob, Sam Gold sitting at 6,000, and 13,000 for Immortus. Both teams have 32,000. Team 1 slightly ahead now with 33, but when I was talking about it, they had 32,000. Reclaim, and the team's exceptionally even on total mass generated. Let's go ahead and check on the economies really quick. Esprador sitting on 142 mass a second, Pupbox on 101, Willow's Duality on 101? Is that right? How are they on the exact same? That is how many T2 mexes? 16 T2 mexes versus... Can I select the mechs, please? How many over here? 12 T2 mexes. So I don't know how I'm on the same economy as Pupbox. Let's go ahead and check on Judah X's economy at 55 mass a second. Bob the Ultra Noob sitting at 154. That's quite a bit. Sam Gold sitting at 136 and Immortus sitting at 125. So surprisingly, Immortus is the lowest economy player for Team 2, despite having double eco pretty much. Does look like Immortus is also producing the most troops out of Team Team 2, of course, having lost a whole bunch of Navy up here, it's not quite indicative with current troop numbers, but the spam does seem to be a little bit heavier out from Immortus. Meanwhile, we do see some destroyers out here in the middle for Pupbox, just kind of zoning out, trying to keep these Zooies from pushing any further. And we have quite large navies gathering in the North Pond. Hasn't been quite as much northern naval action going on as of just yet. Let's go ahead and check on ASF numbers once again just to see how it's gone. 19 for Bob the Ultra Noob. Esprador sitting on 15. So generally, yeah, still low numbers. We do have 3 strat bombers over here just kind of sitting around doing their own thing. Meanwhile, down here, we do have some scouts flying over and some cruiser action going on. We're going to be seeing some cruisers firing their missiles into the stationary ships out from Pupbox. I keep on almost calling Pupbox Esprador because they're both almost the same color of blue. Movement out of the Navy from Willow's Duality. And we're in a bit of a lull. I'm going to speed up the game. Since it is such a long game, I'm going to speed it up until we have a little bit more action going on. All these players kind of content to eco up as of the moment. We have a lot of rover drones out over here. A bunch of kennels built up for Bob the Ultra Noob. You have what looks to be an air grid forming with the T3 pigeons there. Do we have the same out from the opposing air player? No. Let's see over here. Yes, we do. I was saying no to the. I was like, wait, is there a naval fight going on? No, it was just a scout flying over the Navy. And over here, let's just go ahead and check on ecos one more time. Esprador sitting at 190. You know what? At this point, there's not enough reclaim to make it crazy different. 92 for Esprador, 120 to 140 for Pupbox. Willow's Duality at 109. Judah X at 97. 208 for Bob the Ultra Noob. Immortus sitting at 143. And Sam Gold sitting at 157. That's our economies. And over here, we have a huge naval fight breaking out between Willow's Duality and Sam Gold. And it does look like all of the destroyers out from Sam Gold are submerged currently, but there's so many frigates, and the frigates out from Sam Gold have seemingly dissipated. I need to slow this down. Shouldn't have sped the game up. Fucking, I'm an idiot. Meanwhile, the frigates out from Willow's Duality are starting to push forward. The naval production out from Sam Gold isn't quite getting as many frigates as are possibly required for this, and this large horde of naval units are going to be starting to push towards the factories out from Sam Gold. We can see that there are some Vesper T2 submarine hunters out for Willow's Duality. They are pretty good at dealing with the T1 submarines and the T1 spam. They're not so great against other enemy destroyers, and since the Seraphim don't have their own submarines, they have the destroyer, which is also a submarine. It's not quite great against Seraphim in general. I don't know why I decided to build those, but apparently I thought it was a good idea for some reason. Meanwhile, they are going to be targeted onto the T2 Naval HQ. We do, of course, have a large snipe incoming. Is this a snipe onto the comm? This is a ground-firing snipe onto the comm of Immortus. It could be very dangerous as we see all the units loading in over there. Where are the strat bombers? The strat bombers are loading in now. They're going to take a little bit of damage from this cruiser, but one cruiser is not quite enough. The comm of Sam Gold, where is it? It just now started to move, and all of the bombs are dropping, and that's the death of Immortus. And with that, it's now a 2v3. Team 1 has just dissipated and fallen apart in the past few minutes, and they've lost 2 players back to back. Now, all of this is probably going to be, yep, it's going to be transferred over to Bob the Ultra Noob. We will have to see if any of this gets transferred over to Sam Gold. Meanwhile, while we were looking at that, over here we can see that the entirety of the Navy out from Sam Gold has dissipated. There's very little left, and the T3 HQ has gone down. And that is just painful. Team 2 in a desperate position now, having issues with the possibility of winning both navies. Of course, down here you still have all of the production that was built up. A dead T2 Seraphim. Ooh, that's bad. Dead T2 Seraphim HQ is painful. Double HQ deaths. And now with this, all of these factories can no longer produce destroyers. Whatever destroyer they were working on, they can finish, but they cannot build a new one. And these factories are going to go down to the destroyers out from Willow's Duality. We have a ton of torp bombers coming in. Torp bombers are... There's no counter here. There's not a lot of cruisers. These torp bombers are eventually going to be able to kill off all of this remaining Navy out from Willow's Duality and any that stream in later. And that is going to be a saving grace. Willow's Duality isn't going to be able to send in some frigates over here and just absolutely destroy the early game or the economy that's near the shore, but this is already extremely painful. And I missed it, but there was a Percival drop up here on the island by Judah X to clear it out for Willow's Duality to take, and there does seem to be a transport on the way there just now, picking up engineers, going to be queued up to leave with those soon, I am sure. And Immortus is saying regrouping the Navy is what I'm guessing. Meanwhile, these torp bombers are kind of being unanswered at the moment. It doesn't look like Esprador has noticed, still just patrolling the ASF over here. But then again, I think Esprador has an air disadvantage. 58 ASF versus 36 is a big disadvantage for Team 1. Team 1 needs to get more air production as soon as possible. We are seeing more units attempting to make their way through, and it does, I didn't mention it as well, Judah X has jumped into the northern pond and is providing these bulwark shield boats, which is very nice. It's always a good idea if you are a front player to kind of hop into the Navy that your beach player has, because the beach player has a distinct disadvantage if you just go ahead and check it out. Whenever the rock player gets the islands, I can't show you because I'm an idiot. Pupbox got the islands over here. We can see that with that, Pupbox has a total of, I think it's 17 or 18 mexes. The max for a beach player is 12. So, unless you get the island, which isn't something you can reliably do. So yeah, if you don't get the island, you're pretty far behind economically. So if your front player can jump into the beach Navy, can really turn the tides there, because 2 players making Navy is better than 1 in general. We do have some torpedo bombers also coming down to try and deal with the spam out from Pupbox, but Pupbox has gotten some cruisers online, and of course the Salems have pretty decent AA themselves. So that is going to be a little bit harder to deal with than just the Navy out from Willow's Duality, which is still being torp bombed to high hell. No signs of getting out cruisers from the look of it, which is a definite mistake. It's definitely time to build some cruisers. We do have engineers dropped. Are they going to be given an order to reclaim? They are. Willow's Duality going for that sweet, juicy reclaim. We can also see that the island has been claimed by Willow's Duality, which is a pretty good thing for Team 1. But meanwhile, in the short time that these torpedo bombers bought, we do have another T3 Naval HQ already out, and a bunch of Navy factories already spammed right back up. This is phased Sam Gold very little, losing the HQ and losing all of these production facilities. Of course, a lot of reclaim being hoovered up by Sam Gold. Let's go ahead and check on that. 19,000 reclaim. Earlier, I think they were below 10,000, so that is a significant portion. Willow's Duality, of course, over here trying to get a decent amount of reclaim themselves, and is very possible, but may not quite happen. Meanwhile, down here to the south, we can see that the naval production out for Bob the Ultra Noob, formerly Immortus's naval production, is going down shit creek without a paddle. It's going to be gone here in just a minute, and that's going to be very unfortunate. The last naval factory is about to die off, and with that, we are going to be seeing a lot of trouble. We do have some Percivals dropped. Judah is just on top of things with these Percival drops, has managed to kill off the little expansion area over here for the beach player, and is now targeting down mexes one by one, going to be hurting the economy of Bob the Ultra Noob. Bob the Ultra Noob also did gift over the middle to Sam Gold. And we do have ASFs coming in over here to try and deal with these torpedo bombers. Is going to be very helpful for Team 1's efforts. If they can kill off the broadswords over here, that would be very nice. Also, we have T1 bombers over here killing off the attempted expansion of Willow's Duality. Meanwhile, as we look at Reclaim really quick, I just wanted to check since the last time we checked, it's up to 22,000 for Sam Gold. Willow's Duality has gone up to 16,000, so players both getting a ton of Reclaim from this naval battle, but it does look like there's gonna be more over here for Sam Gold to get than there will be for Willow's Duality. Only 9,000 in this general area and 21,000 over here, so it's going to be a bit of an advantage over to Sam Gold in the end. Since he wasn't shut out of Navy, he's going to be perfectly fine with grabbing up all of this Reclaim with all of the build power just kind of sitting around. And that's going to be... it's looking like there might not be a chance for Willow's Duality. Willow's Duality, I think, is also behind in the generated eco side of things, sitting at 187 mass a second versus Sam Gold's 306. So that's going to be an uphill battle over in this North Pond. We're going to have to possibly see a lot of assistance out from Judah X if there's going to be a chance of Willow's Duality holding on up here. Meanwhile, in the Southern Pond, it does look like Upbox has managed to grab naval supremacy down here and has gotten out some Galaxy battleships and a command class aircraft carrier, going to be dealing quite a little bit of damage. All of this area has now been taken out. All of the former base of Immortus has just been absolutely wrecked by the Navy and the Percival drops out from Team 1. Meanwhile, Bob the Ultra Noob has just finished an experimental. I haven't been really scouting for them, but we do see this Novax has finished off. A Novax satellite is no joke, especially this early. 30 minutes is a very early Novax, I feel, and we don't have a lot of shielding out from any player on Team 1. The most would probably be Willow's Duality with the shielding around the main base over here, but that's not going to be enough. Going to need to place small shield outposts around all of your mexes. Going to have to build some shields, but that's going to be an issue for a later date. We do have an attempted snipe of strap bombs. Is Sam Gold even... I think he's in too deep water to even be affected by this. Yeah, Sam Gold's not taking any damage on the comm whatsoever from that, so that was just a giant mass gift. But then again, most of the strap bombers did die right after dropping their bombs, so they are going to end up falling off screen and be unreclaimable, which is, I guess, a benefit if you're going to have a strat snipe that doesn't work. If they don't get the reclaim of the strap bombers, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Meanwhile, we can go ahead and look at the ASF numbers once again. We can see that there is 58 for Esprador versus Bob the Ultra Noob, sitting at 32. Also building some broadswords, 6 broadswords currently. We do have Percivals dropped right next to the main base of Sam Gold. Going to be getting a little bit of damage done, killing off some mass extractors and getting some inroads. These drops out from Judah X have been absolutely masterful, causing massive damage. Possibly going to be able to get off this third mass extractor. One of the shots went what's the word? One of the shots went stray. One of the shots went astray and didn't manage to quite kill off the mass extractor. and that is going to be unfortunate. We do have the Novaks coming forward, going to be looking to target possibly the air player, Esprador, who has now started building a whole bunch of shields, seeing that that is incoming. And that could possibly be the worst target now. If a couple more of these shields go online, it's going to be very difficult for that Novaks to punch through. And we'll have to check in on that in a moment. We do see a large navy with a whole bunch of Yathsaus, a bunch of these T3 submarines. Actually, they're called T3 Submarine Hunters. Very powerful. Also really good in the AA department. Can surface those and kill off torp bombers all day long with those AA guns on those T3 Submarine Hunters. And these are going to be very difficult to deal with. So a little bit of a lesson on Naval Micro in case you want to play Setons or you want to play any map with Navy and you don't know how it quite works. The general idea is you build a bunch of frigates to tank damage. You send the frigates into your enemy, as many as you have, just throw them at the enemy, get them as close in, mess up pathing, all of that stuff. Your destroyers, your T2 Navy, your longer range Navy, is supposed to sit back and kind of shell from afar. If you have any type of submarine, you also just send it in with the frigates, because that's how it goes. The only exception to the submarine rule is this, the T3 Submarine Hunter. It has been changed a lot since the original FA days. And what you generally want to do with these is kite. They have extremely long range, but they do lose in whenever they're against equal mass of other submarines that manage to get in range. So you launch torpedoes and you keep them at the max range they can be against everything, and they end up killing off quite a little bit of units very quickly. So it is a micro game. Also, cruisers, you generally just keep those near your most valuable units. Generally, the cruisers either have the TMLs or they just have a nice gun. With the Cybran and Aeon ones, they just have a gun. But yeah, we are going to see a naval battle kick off over here, and it does look like Sam Gold has more of just about everything. Just more stuff for Sam Gold. A lot of T2 Navy out from Willow's Duality going to try and hold off over here. We do have some T3 land units, some hover and some tanks coming in towards the main base of Willow's Duality, and that could be an issue. A bunch of torp bombers gathering up for Esprador now, going to try and come in here and save the day, save this top pond. But it does look like all of these naval units are just slowly dying off for Willow's Duality. An attempted build at a Tempest. Don't think that's going to complete in time. I don't believe the Tempest will be up to fight this. And even if it were, it would be a hard ask to have it fight all of this. And Bob the Ultra Noob has built a second Novak Center. Meanwhile, the original Novaks has managed to kill off a few mass extractors, which is valuable, but it is something that can be replaced relatively easily with the economy that, oh gosh, Esprador has. I've clicked off the game twice now in a row on casts. I keep on doing it because I suck. Thank you very much, everybody. We do have a bunch of Oblivion point defense and some miasmas now queued up for Willow's Duality, who's starting to lose a lot of ground. The naval production facilities are about to start going down, and I can't speak apparently, everybody. I don't know why you're listening to me. You've been listening to me for 40 minutes and you're still here. I'm surprised because I'm bad at speaking, but either way, we do have these Oblivions going online. They do have that large alpha damage and the splash, so all of these naval units stacked up on top of each other are going to be taking a lot of damage, but I don't know if it's quite enough. Meanwhile, Willow's Duality doing a shameless plug, believing that it's over. Just gonna type in Willow's Duality on YouTube with walls, which is oh, that's so stupid. Why do I do things like this? We do have all of the destroyers firing onto the comm of Willow's Duality, taking it down quite a little bit of health, 4,000 health, and dropping. It does look like another volley of those Seraphim destroyer lasers are going to be forced upon the comm of Willow's Duality. 4,000 health is not a ton of health when it really comes down to it. Just not quite enough health. Willow's Duality is going to be able to run away from the destroyers, and that is going to be a surviving comm for now. But no, the Novax is coming in to do damage. Almost dead. Willow's Duality tries to build a shield, but it's too late. And that's the death of Willow's Duality to Novax Center. And we're left with Willow's Duality on Willow's Duality on Y. Why Willow's Duality? Or Willow, it's actually Willowcast, it's not Willow's Duality, but Willowcast on Y. Yeah, I'm shameless, everybody. I have no shame. That's all you need to know about me. Sell my soul for a nickel. All of the base of Willow's Duality has been transferred over to Esprador, who is now in command of this. We do have a lot of economy out. Let's just go ahead and check on the overall ecos. 452 currently. It's going to be dropping massively as all of this dies. For Esprador, Pupbox sitting at 354, Judah sitting at 177, Bob the Ultra Noob at 361, and 239 for Sam Gold. So it does look like Team 1 has gained a massive advantage. Total overall is 1.22 million. Or no, that's 220,000 mass advantage. But both teams were getting over 1 million mass accrued in this game. Overall reclaim of the surviving players is looking to be 30,000 for Pupbox, 14,000 for Esprador, 8.7 thousand for Judah X, Bob the Ultra Noob at 8.8 thousand, and 39,000 for Sam Gold. I wonder why it doesn't show my reclaim. It doesn't show any of my stats. That's strange. But either way, is what it is. 50% on a nuke. A nuke launcher out from Judah X is going to attempt to get some nukening off, but gonna need some more shields. 2 Novaxes will tear through that in a heartbeat. All of this base has been transferred over to Judah X, who's going to have to try and survive this naval onslaught. Possibly the plan is to nuke the Navy, which is a decent plan if the Navy doesn't dodge it. It'll be a little bit hard to dodge because the nuke launcher is so close. And over here we have a Fat Boy that has finished for Bob the Ultra Noob, and a third Novax Center finishing for Bob the Ultra Noob. Bob is pumping out Novax Centers, and like no joke, just getting so many. And a Stone Ager on the way for Bob the Ultra Noob, going to be trying to snipe off some anti-nukes and snipe off some anti-nukes with the Novaxes, and then drop a nuke on the enemies. It's always a good idea. Meanwhile, we can see the Novax Centers killing off the former base of Willow's Duality, and the situation has changed quite rapidly. Just 10-20 minutes ago, we were talking about how the Naval HQ and all of these factories were dying for Sam Gold, and this area was just completely denied, which, I mean, it still is completely denied, but now we are seeing a whole bunch of naval units up here. We're seeing Zooies, we're seeing just absolute losses out from Team 1. And these Novaxes are making life extra difficult for Team 1. And down here, we're going to see some torp bombers being thrown at the Navy of Pupbox. Pupbox having done quite a number to the economies of both Sam Gold and Bob the Ultra Noob, having killed off quite a bit of this territory formerly held by Blue Lynx and Immortus. A transport with 6 Percivals has died over here, which is an unfortunate situation. The Percival's seemingly sinking instantly, which is something I didn't know happened, but apparently does. But another transport, this time with engineers, is coming out trying to get over here to possibly build some kind of I don't know, fire base or get some reclaim, but it's going to go down as well. And over here we can see a Scathis on the way for Team 1 and some hives being handed over to both of the other remaining players. The main base of Judah is doing fine, but there are Novaxes and Zuis on the way. The nuke has finished. And where is this nuke targeted? I'm not quite sure. Where are you nuking? Where'd you nuke? The nuke is going for the main starting base of Sam Gold. I don't know if this is going to land. I don't see an anti-nuke anywhere. Yeah, I'm not seeing an anti-nuke, so it does look like this has a good possibility of landing. We'll just keep an eye out right here. If there is an anti-nuke, we will see it fire. And of course, you can see all of the craziness going on back there as there's units. Oh, the nuke is going to land. Okay. And with that, we have a nuke out from Judah X, getting quite a little bit done. I'm going to have a explosion going on right here, killing off the 4 mexes that were there and not really much else. Would have been better to place the nuke about right here. Kill off all of this build power. Kill off the T3 Air HQ. Stop Sam Gold from getting into the air game and without building a bunch of carriers. But alas, can't be too judgmental. All right, let's see. Over here, we have an attempt of sending Medusas to deal with the Navy over here. Not gonna work out, believe it or not. Medusas are not quite Zuis because they cannot hover. And we can see the Novaxes did manage to kill off the nuke launcher and a few mass extractors for Judah X. And now the Novaxes are coming over towards the comm of Pupbox, who has not enough shielding to deal with 3 Novaxes. I'll put that out. The Novax is killing off a whole bunch of torpedo bombers, which is a valid strategy. I mean, kill off the torpedo bombers before they bomb with torpedoes. Torpedo bombers. Yeah, that's actually a lot of torpedo bombers being built right now. The torpedo bombers are going to lift off, which means that the Novaxes can no longer shoot at them because Novaxes, for some reason, despite being a satellite with a laser, can't shoot air units. I know, makes a lot of sense, but still. Pupbox is moving the comm over towards the shield that's being built currently. If this shield gets canceled by a shot, that could be dangerous. We have multiple shields going up right now. We could possibly... I don't know. It seems like all that these Novaxes are focused on is killing off mass extractors. I don't think there's enough shielding here to deal with 3 Novaxes, though. Build Omni in base. Okay. Stagnant. Nothing happening. I mean, through that, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the game a tiny little bit. We do have a bunch of torp bombers flying to their death over here in the North Pond. We have some Percivals pushing up the middle out from Judah X. And we have a bunch of destroyers, some Salems coming out to try and deal with the absolute defense. Jesus, just look at that. Bob the Ultra Noob has just built a giant ring of anti-air and PD around his base, which is a strategy. I don't know how great of a strategy it really is. Let's go ahead and check on the progress of the Scathis. It's currently in the green at 80% done. Is going to be able to fire relatively soon. We are going to be seeing a Scathis complete this game, I think. And the Novaxes, I missed it, but they did kill off. We know how the comm died, but it was just nothing was happening. The base of Pupbox is going to be handed over to Esperdor, and now Esperdor is going to be controlling both of these. We could possibly see this base handed off to Judah X, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. The Scathis is currently sitting at 90%. In that short time, it's gone up by so much, but now it's no longer being assisted by the economy of Pupbox. But then again, the economy of Pupbox has just been immediately given over to Esperdor, who's now got 772 mass a second, which is a lot. And this Scathis is being built exceptionally quickly, as the last few remnants of the base of Judah X are dying off to these massive amount of battleships. That's a lot of battleships. And then we also have aircraft carriers over here. It does look like Sam Gold is kind of pressuring to win this game, but it's going to be a little bit difficult with the Scathis coming online. Gonna have to see the first shots out from this Scathis. We can see the Novax is approaching. I think there might be enough shields to deal with 3 at the moment, but I would like to see more shielding out over this Scathis personally. Meanwhile, the Scathis is winding up to fire, and bang 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 bang. God, Scathis is so fun to watch. And as we look at it, we'll have to see where those are being targeted. It does look like it's going towards Bob the Ultra Noob, because there's nothing else in this direction. We do have a nuke on the way trying to kill off the comm of Judah X. Judah X is going to move the comm, so that is going to be unsuccessful. As long as the comm doesn't come out of the water, he is fine. If he comes out of the water, he does get sniped by Novaxes, which is painful. And the first wave of shells is now landing, and we can see a Fat Boy that was trying to build has been destroyed, and a lot, not much going down, but it is cause for concern. We're going to need to see more shielding out from Bob the Ultra Noob if he wants his base to survive, as the... Why is the Scathis not firing? The Scathis has been moved to get better shield coverage, which is surprising. Don't know why you'd move the Scathis instead of lose the Scathis firing time, give your opponents some more time to build shields. The nuke kills absolutely nothing, and we're going to have to watch these Scathis shots as they come rolling in. Going to speed it up a little bit because it's kind of just it's an artillery and Novax war. We're not going to see much. The Novaxes do manage to kill off a lot of power, which could be a winning strategy to deal with this. We'll have to see if any Novaxes go down with this volley. It doesn't look like any are going to. The shields managed to keep them alive for another volley. Meanwhile, the shields over here are going to be targeted. The Novaxes are doing what? Novax is about to fire again? Wait, what are the Novaxes doing? Why are they standing still? Or are they sitting still? The Novaxes just decided to stop firing for some reason, and with that, another volley comes in, and the Novaxes do manage to stay alive, but that's going to be difficult. Another nuke launched. This time, it looks like the nuke was launched for the main base, but it's going to be shot down by an SMD with one more loaded. The SMD now targeted by the Novaxes, possibly able to snipe off the SMDs and get a nuke off to kill off this Scathis. The Scathis still firing. One Novax has gone down. Another Novax on the brink of death. Just a stiff breeze will kill it off, but now there's no shielding over this as the next volley coming in. The shield might pop on right before the next volley, but there's not enough power. The power grid's gone down, so he's unable to keep the shielding up, and all of the Novaxes are now dead. So with that, we're going to be looking at a very unfortunate position for Team 2. It kind of feels like this Scathis has kind of ended the game. After that, we don't have any more Novaxes. We still, of course, have Sam Gold. We could see if Sam Gold is trying to build a whole bunch of nukes. It does look like nukes have been queued up and paused over here on these battleships, but not enough power possibly to build all the nukes. We could see a mass nuke wave, and there's only one anti-nuke loaded. A secondary anti-nuke is up, or 2 anti-nukes loaded. Any more than 2 nukes will get through, so this could still be in the hands of Team 2 to win it. It's not quite over yet. We have massive amounts of Zooies over here just pouring in. We do, of course, have some Rhinos out from Esprador as well as a bunch of Medusa. Scathis fire landing very close to the base and also killing off probably tons of Zooies. This Scathis currently sitting at not even one veterancy yet. To get one veterancy, you need 440,000 mass worth killed, which is ridiculous. A bunch of Navy going down to this Scathis, as we see ASFs come in to try and deal with these renegade gunships that have come out to try and kill off some of this spam coming out from Samgold. And with that, most of the ASFs go down, and that's all of the ASFs left in the match except for the handful that's down here. And it does look like the Navy over here is going to be moved up to try and deal with these production facilities. That is indeed what's happening. Wait, is there UEF tech over here? Oh, we do have UEF tech over here trying to build up some governor class cruisers, which are very good at dealing with structures. Of course. Generally, the cruisers with missiles are kind of better at breaking bases, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure everybody agrees with that opinion. I think the cruisers without the missiles are a little bit better at dealing with just dealing with air units. But then again, I might not be entirely sure on that. I'm not sure if the what's it called? The Cybran cruiser, whatever it may be called. I'm not sure if that one's all that great at dealing with air units. It does have the missiles, but it feels like the missiles are really slow. And a ton of chat happening, most of it in a language I don't know, or in whispers. Can I please grab this? I hate this so much. I hate how the chat, the chat always goes down to the bottom whenever anybody types. So I can't scroll up and look for salt. I want to look for salt, god damn it. Stop typing. Damn you. Communication is not key. Well, let's see. Sam, what's your plan to end the game? Nukes. You know what? Yeah, I have no idea. Sam, any plan? Can't win without air. I'm looking for comms. Okay. Do we have a Yathoda or anything on the way? Anything? Nope. The comm of Sam Gold is right here, and the comm of Bob the Ultra Noob is right here. And the Scathis is now starting to kill off Sam Gold's base. Few structures left over for Bob the Ultra Noob, but nothing substantial other than this defense ring. We do see that all of Pupbox's former base has now been gifted over to Judah X. Judah X has been kind of sitting around doing nothing for a very long time with just the comm. And it does look like Judah X now has something to do. Wait, that's not Judah X's comm. Where is Judah's comm? Judah's comm is right over here. We do have a nuke on the way. We have 3 nukes loaded here and 1 nuke anti-nuke loaded there. So you're going to need 4 more nukes to break through the nuclear defense line. Meanwhile, the battleships are moving with a ton of engineers. Willow cast on Yi. Oh god, I love that. Meanwhile, we do have the Scathis now firing towards the base. I mean, it's been firing like this for a while. Seraphim Shield's slightly better at dealing with this, but it does look like this is going to eventually die. We have a bunch of torpedo bombers now coming in towards the comm of Bob the Ultra Noob, but the comm is now out of the water, so it's going to be able to avoid that. Does look like they saw that coming in. We do, of course, have some whaler heavy gunships coming in towards the comm as well, and an absolute ton of torpedo bombers. It does look like Team 1 has just decided to go for the snipe And that might be it. Scout planes now flying over. We can see the broadswords. Whoa, when you zoom in, those Scathis shots. And we can see the comm of Bob the Ultra Noob is going to be going down in 3, 2, 1. Dead! Bob the Ultra Noob. Bob the Ultra Noob has died. And with that, why is this all messed up? And Sam Gold has built an experimental. Where is the experimental that Sam Gold built? Was it built over here? Oh, wait. Oh, the experimental that Sam Gold built was over here. And it's because whenever Bob died, all of the experimentals got transferred over. So you got some fancy schmancy fat boys that are killing off a spider that was built up by Judah X. And that is going to be a dead spider very soon. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing a bunch of torp bombers flying into the AA from these. See? Told you. The AA on these things are ridiculous. A whole bunch of torp bombers flying into the AA there. And then you also have the AA out from the fucking aircraft carriers. That's also a huge issue. Damn, that's crazy. A bunch of eco right here. If this goes down, I'm pretty sure that none of this works. A bunch of nukes building still from the looks of it on these battleships. Don't know if they're going to be able to get any more nukes off. And the aircraft carriers are moving back. We do see a bunch of torpedo bombers now streaming south, and now they are coming up for the comm. It does look like Sam Gold has been spotted. Do they know it's there? And yeah, a bunch of nukes being launched directly at the comm, and Sam Gold has decided to control K everything, and that's the end of the match. Thank you all for watching. Y'all are beautiful. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you liked, then liked it. If you liked it, then like. If you disliked, then dislike it. Yet again, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you to my patrons, Timothy Calderwood, Nogthar, and Sergeant Syphilis, for subscribing at the specific tiers that allow you to get those tiers. Thank you to all my other patrons, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!